My husband and I bought this house in March of 2022. At the time I was still teaching, but I knew that soon I wanted to be looking for a job that I could do from home. So I wanted to turn the second bedroom in this house into an office space that I could use for my new job. It's August, and I started filming this video 18 months ago and filmed the last shot, I think, 3-4 months ago now. So there's been a couple of changes, but I'll add those in at the end. Enjoy the process of my room transformation. This is what the room looked like when we moved in. The last owners used this space for a nursery, so the first task I had was removing all of the decals. Then I moved into the planning stages. This blue wall, I'm hoping to put some wallpaper on that looks like this floral pattern. This is my sample. And then the other 3 walls, I'm planning on painting this rose scroll color. It looks pinker in person than it does on camera. Right now our cat has her stuff in here, but that'll be moving downstairs to the basement. My husband's very hospitable and we wanted to have a space for guests to stay when they come. But I didn't want like a full bed in my office because it would take up a lot of the space. And so I found a day bed online that converts into a full-size bed. And so I taped that on the floor, and I also taped the size of my desk on the floor to see sort of how much room that would leave me in here. And then I ordered my desk last week and it arrived, and I am going to put that together now. But overall, this is just a pretty piece of bamboo. So I put together the first 2 steps of the base, and I went on to the 3rd step, and I realized that I had put the legs on backwards because the next thing that goes in is this rod right here, and there's no hole to put it in back here. But if I look on the other side, there's the hole it's supposed to go in. So I'm gonna take this apart and switch the legs, and then move on to the next step. Next, I prepped for painting the entire room. I actually had COVID during this time, but my symptoms were so mild that painting was the perfect activity to keep me busy while quarantining. I decided to go with one shade lighter than the rose scroll and went with a champagne color. Time to prime. Coat 1. Finished the second coat last night, and I'm obsessed with the color. I'm glad I went one shade lighter than I originally thought. It's like the perfect mix between beige and pink. So now I'm just taking off all of the tape and going to replace all of the light sockets. You are gonna get cut. This is Dexter. We babysat him for 2 weeks while his mom and dad were on vacation. He is such a good boy. You better watch it. Are you scared? We are moving away from the dog because he cannot be trusted. There's like 12 steps that each step has about 5 sub-steps. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. I gotta turn on the lights so you can see. Wow, that is gorgeous. I really was hoping that this pink matched the walls. This is not the original wallpaper I thought I was going to get. I was convinced on the black and white floral pattern, but I am so glad that I changed my mind. I loved the way that this turned out. Now that I had things just the way I wanted them, it was time to start decorating and ordering furniture. The built-in ceiling light is a very cool and harsh color, so I added in some Christmas lights for a softer, warmer, cozier glow for all 4 seasons. I think it's been about 5 months since I last filmed anything for my office, and this spring I went through and finished up everything that I wanted to have in here, and I'm very excited for how it turned out. I got this ukulele during COVID. It was one of my COVID hobbies to learn how to play. Unfortunately though, I haven't practiced it very much in the past year or so, but I did want it to be a decoration and not just sit in the back of my closet. So I had this gift card to Amazon, and so I got this very cute little hanger. It's not very hard to get out when I want it, and also hopefully this will remind me to actually get it out and play. I also found this plant stand, like a 6-tier plant stand online, and I thought this was very cool. It looks like my cat has knocked off one of my photo albums. I have a few different plants on here that are enjoying the only south-facing window that I have in my house. This is my newest plant, my little snake plant. What? Oh my gosh, there's something else in there. You see that? But I got this thinking there was just one in here, but actually there's a second bulb that's coming up, so that's very exciting. And here is where this snake plant is now, 3 months later. That little sprout is about a foot tall now. I also have this inch plant here, which is gorgeous and just keeps growing in all directions. This pothos I've had for probably about a year now, I think. I got this from work and it's beautiful. It's been enjoying this sunshine as well. This is my husband's cactus. I just put it here to match everything else. And this was a housewarming gift. I don't even remember what this is. Oh, that's why I don't know what it is. It just has assorted foliage from my sister-in-law. Yeah, the assorted foliage didn't make it, so instead I propagated some of a Coleus plant that I had. Then I have my African violet up here, which has grown so much. I used to have it in like a pot about this size, and once I put it into this, it just filled up the space. And 3 months later, it is even fuller. So those are my plants that I love, that I have on my plant stand. I also just have like some journals, a photo album, some books. I'm not really a fan of keeping books, so most of these that are on here are things I haven't read. Like my dad gifted this to me for my birthday a couple years ago, and I'm planning on reading it, but for now, it's just being decoration. Then over here, which Stella finds very comfortable. This is Stella. We adopted her in November, and she is also a very good girl. It's convertible into a king-size mattress, but usually on the daily, I just leave it about the twin size, and then I cover it with this blanket because this is one of my dog's favorite places to nap. But underneath, it's just upholstered. Then the last thing that was added was these white shelves. My husband helped put them up because it was very difficult not drilling into where the electrical wires are, because there was like a stud here, but all of the wires for these lights and outlets and things were running up through the wall. So we had to make sure that we did not electrocute ourselves. So the support gets hidden. And they were advertised as holding up to like 30 pounds. So they're pretty sturdy. Since there's no storage in my desk, I have a place to keep things that I use regularly. So this is everything. Oh, and the only other thing that I still need to do is there's still some like paint trim that needs touch up. Like you can see on the edge of the window here where some of the blue was, which was this wall before I painted it and wallpapered it. And you can see the blue up at the top as well, just past the wallpaper. So just a little bit of trim. There's some like gray all along like the edge of the doors. So like little tiny details. But I really just wanted a space that, you know, I felt like I could spend 8+ hours a day in and not get tired of. Something that felt bright and light and was filled with things that I enjoyed looking at, but also something that wasn't too cluttered. And so I feel like I created a nice balance with this room and I enjoy using it as my office. It took me about a year to save up for everything that I wanted to put in here, but now that it's finished, I really do enjoy spending my days in here, working from home. I've got a good view out in the backyard. We built that garden bed a couple of weeks ago, and so I'll be excited to have a nice view of that. And when my dog goes out to play. Our garden is now thriving. We have cherry tomatoes, full-size tomatoes, and one singular red bell pepper. Last night we made tomato soup with the tomatoes from our garden, and it just tasted incredibly fresh. This is not really what I had planned at the beginning. Like looking at my Pinterest board to what this actually turned out to be are pretty different things. I'm gonna see if I can find where I put my original plan. Actually, I think I know where it is. I think it's actually in this journal down here. Yes, here it is. Originally, I wanted to have those like hexagon shelves with some like ivy. I was gonna have 3 puzzles instead of just like this one puzzle here, which I think would have been a little too much. Then shelves and my desk on this side of the room, which actually I still think that I would like. But this is great over here because it kind of keeps me focused without sitting directly in front of the window. I was gonna get a little neon sign that said exhale fear, and I decided against that because I didn't think that it fit with the vibe of the rest of the room. That was my original plan, but you know, I'm pretty happy with how things turned out. And I kind of appreciate that it did take so long to actually do, because I think if I had done everything right when I moved in, then I wouldn't have had time to like really consider what it is I actually want or what it is I want to feel when I'm in this space. And so I'm very happy with how things turned out. There's been a couple of changes since the last time that I filmed. The first one of those things is I got a monitor for my desk, which has been very helpful during the day at work. And the second of those things actually was a mistake. This was not supposed to be in here, but I got this chair that is just like awkwardly sitting in the middle of the room next to all of these cords that I haven't figured out how to organize yet. And this chair was not supposed to be in here. Actually, I never ordered this chair. I did order this chair and this chair. I ordered 2 chairs for the living room and they sent me 4, one of which was broken. So there were actually 3 good chairs. So I ended up putting one in here. And it's, it's been kind of nice actually, like having just a different place to sit if I want a break from my desk. I just don't know how to organize it so that it looks not random and like sticking out. Hi, sweet girl. It's crazy to think that this looks completely different from when we moved in about a year ago. So yeah, thanks for watching my journey, even though it took a very long time to get here. I did end up getting a job where I get to work remotely, so I probably spend more time in this room than in any other room in the house.